Hello, welcome back to another episode on Red Bull. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and leave a like. Let's get into the story now. Thanks everyone for the kind words and advice.
Put your story in the comment. My 31M wife 28F of 4 years cheated on me with a coworker and is genuinely sorry. Should I forgive her? Original story. My wife and I have been together for 7 years. Married 4. We have a great marriage and 2 children, 3F and 2M. We were each other's one and only sexual partner. Last week she ended up going home with a coworker on Friday night, lying and saying it was a work function. Specifically, she texted me around 7:30 that a work function suddenly came up and she has to go. I was a bit pissed since we planned to watch a movie at home and she canceled without notice. But I saw no reason to mistrust her. She said she would be back by 9:30 and I was okay with that. Then she ends up coming back at 11:30 in hysterics. She's crying and mumbling and admits she slept with her coworker. Lots of anger and crying on my end, and we spent the whole night discussing it. She said that her coworker, a younger guy who had been flirting with her for weeks very persistently, she did not tell me about this. Her reasoning being that it would have never led to something anyway, and showered her with compliments. Finally broke down her barriers and they had sex at his place 3 times in 2 hours. She said she felt like she missed out on something by only being with one sexual partner. So did I, but I didn't fucking cheat and wasn't thinking rationally. She said she got caught up in the moment for weeks, it seems, and she never planned to cheat on me. She said being treated like a sexy, desirable woman by a young, handsome guy only clouded her thinking further. I'm not so sure what she means by this, since we have plenty of sex, at least 3 times a week, as well as frequent date nights. I asked her to show me her phone, email and media right there, and there's no sign of him at all. They never spoke outside of work. I thought she might be lying and covering her tracks, but I verified this in the following days and contacted my service provider and used a text recovery program, and they never had any contact outside of work. My wife is saying it was a one-time mistake and will never happen again. She decided to quit work, handed in her notice already, and also outed the coworker due to the no fraternization policy, and is searching for another job. She also promised to give me complete open access to all her media whenever I want, and is pretty much begging me not to leave her. She has apologized and shed more tears than can be counted in numbers. I wanted to stay away from her for a while, but my kids need me, so I told her to give me my space in the house while I think things through. My wife wants to do couples counseling and therapy and wants to pay for it herself so as not to burden me. She's taking full blame for the cheating and assures me I did not contribute to it at all. I never thought I would be the type to consider forgiving cheating. I always thought I would steel myself and go no contact without a second's hesitation. I'm trying to determine the pros and cons of this. Pros: 1. She confessed immediately and with full honesty, answering all of my questions truthfully. 2. She's quitting her job and completely separating from this guy. 3. She's giving me full access to her media. 4. She's taking full blame and responsibility for cheating. 5. She is genuinely remorseful. I know this for a fact. 6. She's using her own disposable income to pay for counseling and therapy. 7. Apparently a marriage can become stronger after infidelity. Not sure if this is true, but I doubt it. The possibility is there, I suppose. 8. I really do love my wife beyond measure and can't imagine loving another woman or having another woman be the mother of my children. Cons: 1. She fucking cheated on me. We have kids, damn it, and she actually fucking cheated. 2. She lied to me about this work function bullshit. She deliberately texted me a lie to cover for her getting pounded by the coworker. 3. She admits that the sex was mind-blowing and she enjoyed it immensely. 4. She never told me about the flirting, even as it went on for weeks. 5. She wasn't drunk. She willingly and intentionally had sex with him. This one hurts a lot, since she decided to forsake our family just for a few hours with a coworker. 6. Trust will take a very, very long time to rebuild, if at all. I don't know if I want to invest years into trying to repair what might be fundamentally broken. 7. I fear her cheating may have permanently destroyed any potential intimacy with my wife. Just seeing her or thinking of her conjures images of her getting fucked by the other guy, and it would be impossible to not think of such things during intimacy. 8. I have lost a huge amount of respect for her. I doubt I have any left. Our marriage and children apparently meant so little to her that she chose the guy's dick over them. Also, All it took to get her to throw away all notions of fidelity and loyalty were a few weeks of flirting and compliments. I thought my wife had a modicum of self-control and dignity, but it appears I'm wrong about this. What do I do? Kids? Try to work through this, or just say fuck it and move on? For the latter, I can be a vengeful Chillingsworth-like bastard, so I would probably pretend to forgive her while secretly making moves to get a favorable divorce settlement for myself. It's probably just fantasy, but I'll be damned if I don't try my hardest to not get screwed out of everything I worked so hard to achieve the last 10 years. If there are any pros and cons I missed, please mention them. TL. Doctor. Wife cheated. Don't know if I should forgive her or not. Comments. After reading your posts here and there throughout the thread, hey, I'm ready to talk. At this point, I'm still leaning toward divorce. You've destroyed so much of what made our relationship good. We were each other's first and onlys. And now that's gone. You had to have another partner, but didn't stop to think about what it would have done to you if I'd been the one to go out and rack up another notch. Hell, you didn't think about me or the kids in any of this. Weeks of flirting, planning to go home with him, coming up with a lie and then going through with it. You didn't think of the happy life you'd be throwing away when you fucked him. Then still didn't think about it while you were lying there sweating with him still inside of you. Because you went back for seconds. The family you were turning your back on for a couple hour long fuck still didn't trigger any guilt in you because you went back for fucking thirds. I don't know if I'm glad it was mind blowing, because that would be the only good thing out of how much it's going to cost every one of us. Or just more disgusted with you. I don't have any respect left for you right now. But because of how you've handled things since, I'm not going to rush into this. I'll give couples counseling a chance. I don't know what it will do for me and how I feel right now. And I'm not promising not to go through with a divorce. But I'll go. You need to know though, that the life we had before is dead. I won't ever see you the same way. And that is going to have an impact on our children. You did this when you betrayed everything about us. If we end up together, it will be as something new. And we won't know what that is until we get there. Just don't do anything to make me regret leaving this door open. Communication is important. At this point you've got a lot of negative feelings to communicate. And it's important for her to know how you're looking at each step of this as another betrayal. That she did it to your whole family and not just you. You're not letting her off of the hook and saying that you'll stay either. You're kicking the can down the road a ways to see if between your efforts and hers you can get to a point where ending it isn't the only conclusion. That leaves you room to still be angry and pissed and, yeah, probably even hate her a bit. But also gives you time to come to terms with it and make the best call for you in the future. My condolences, man. This absolutely sucks. And you didn't deserve it. To me, there's some actions that remorse just doesn't cover. It's not just about your marriage. She made the sober decision that she was perfectly willing to risk throwing her entire family life into flux just to feel hot and desired. She decided that her children's stable, two-parent upbringing was well worth that risk. And then the final knife to the heart is that she made that same sober decision 2 more times in a few hours. To me, that middle finger to my kids would be unforgivable. By God, reading the second paragraph makes me fully realize the magnitude of what she did. Holy shit, man, I didn't think of it that far. It also clearly wasn't very hard for this coworker to get her to sleep with him. He flirted with her and showered her with compliments but never even texted or messaged her. It's 2015. Texting is showing literally the most basic amount of interest in someone. This guy is coming on so strong to your wife, but he doesn't even contact her outside of work. Either she's lying about not contacting him outside of work, or this dude put in as minimal effort as possible and managed to get your wife to step outside her marriage. Which really means that wedding ring wasn't weighing her down much.
Thank you for watching.